Hello, everybody. My name is Charles, and I don't really post on my channel a lot, but I've been seeing a lot of videos regarding Upworks and the kind of jobs to stay away from and so on. And over the last 3 years that I've been on Upwork, I must admit that I've done pretty good. I've run into, of course, the scam posts and stuff like that, but I haven't really run into any quote unquote bad jobs or bad clients. I've had one or two clients over the 3 years that ghosted me. I've gotten paid, but something happened and they just disappeared. I don't know if they were not satisfied or whatever, but just couldn't articulate what it is that they needed or wanted. In any event, as it pertains to Upworks, this meme to me represents the greater majority of clients that are on Upworks and perhaps other freelance sites that you may have come across. They want the world, but don't want to pay for it. So on the left, they want that fancy sculpture, and all that good stuff. But when they ask you, can you give them that, but only cheaper? I would love to be able to send them the image that's on the right, because that's what you're paying for. You're going to get what you pay for. So, but I wouldn't recommend doing that, but that's what I would love to do when it comes to clients that expect stuff like this or work of this quality, even though I think it's horrendous. But the work of this kind of quality, sculpture wise, I mean, I can imagine the amount of time, energy, and effort that went into putting something like this together, but then willing or only wanting to pay for something like this. So this was the perfect meme. I saved this meme as soon as I saw it because it is highly representative of the greater majority of clients that you're going to find on some of these freelance sites. Anyway, having said that, I figured that I would go ahead and highlight some of the jobs that I would stay away from. I wouldn't touch with a 10-foot pole. I'm not saying that you should. I'm just saying that these are some of the red flags that I look for when I'm scrolling through Upworks and trying to determine what job I'm going to apply for, especially since Upwork has gone up on the number of connects that it takes for freelancers to apply for a job. Those connects are not cheap. And I understand some of the reasons why they've done that. One in particular that I read on a board somewhere was that what they're looking to do is avoid people from applying to jobs that they know that they're not qualified for, that they're just putting in a proposal because the connects is only going to cost them 1, 2, or 3 connects to apply for it, and they might get lucky. They might be able to do some blue smoke and mirrors type of job and then put out some substandard work, or the client gets inundated with hundreds of proposals that they're never going to get a chance to go through. They're only going to look through the first 5, 10, or maybe 15 proposals. And I'm basing that on my own experience. I've used Upwork in the past for different types of things. Once the first 3 to 5 people apply, that's usually where I am going to make my selection, especially if they're meeting my criteria, experience, price, and show me that they understand what I'm looking for after I've communicated with them. So that's one of the reasons that I understand that the connects went up, where now it's taking, like a minimum of 16 connects to apply for a job. So as freelancers, you got to be real discriminating on the jobs that you apply for. And this video is to just kind of show you what my red flags are from jobs that I stay away from. And again, you may have your own criteria, but I'm just showing you the jobs that I stay away from at all costs. So one of the first kind of jobs that I stay away from is this. I stay away from jobs like this. And the reason I do is because, first of all, it's a little disappointing that they're just looking to copy somebody who's popular right now. I get it. I understand why. But they're asking you to basically emulate somebody else's style that they can pass off as their own. And they are not willing to be creative or come up with their own style and make their own mark. They're looking to emulate somebody else's style. And again, I understand it, I get it, but I'm not doing this. I'm not going to copy somebody else's style in order to get a job. And especially since, look what they're paying. They want a Mr. Beast style video, and they're only willing to pay $3 to $5 an hour. You have got to be kidding me. You have got to be kidding me. So when you go on Mr. Beast's channel, okay, and you look at the energy, the effort, and the creativity that he puts into these videos, for a client to expect you to emulate this for $3 to $5 an hour, in my view, is an insult. It's an absolute insult, okay? There's no way that I'm going to put my time, energy, and effort and putting together a video like this, okay, for $3 to $5 an hour. Now, will he find somebody or she find somebody to do this? Perhaps, and good luck, but it's not going to be me. There's no way that you're going to offer me $3 to $5 an hour to put together a video of this quality with all of these effects and all of these different things that are required to make this video, okay? There's just no way. There's just no way that that's going to happen. Another type of job that I stay away from is jobs that have 20 to 50 proposals. As I said in the beginning, usually clients are only going to look at the first 5, maybe 10 proposals that they get. And out of those 10, they may really reach out to like 3. And of those 3, that's really where they're going to make their decision from. And I'm just basing this on my own experience from being on the other side of this process when I've hired freelancers to do different types of work for me, not video stuff, but other things related to like Excel or Python or some other stuff that I have no knowledge of or no interest in doing. So any job, and I don't care about when it was posted, how much it is, what the job is itself, or anything like that. Jobs that have 20 to 50 proposals already in their queue, I'm not going to spend 8 connects to apply for it and then just kind of get thrown into a pile and never get looked at. I stay away from jobs that have 20 to 50 proposals already in the queue. I typically look for jobs that are around 5 to 10 or jobs that have just been posted and have 0 to 5, something like that. And most of these are 10 to 15, 10 to 20, but the jobs that here less than 5, again, once I look at this and see less than 5, the next thing I look at is what they're looking to pay hourly. And then if it's something that interests me, then I'll click on it and see if it meets some of the other criteria. Now, a lot of people look to see whether or not the person or the proposal has the payment method verified. Me personally, this doesn't matter to me at the end of the day, and that can happen for several reasons. The credit card that they put on file could have expired and they just need to update it, or they're going through the process with their bank and Upwork. That does take some time because I'm on here, like I said, as a client as well, and it took a few days, took about a week for my credit card to get approved to go through Upworks services. And but a lot of people put a lot of credence into this, and I really don't. At the end of the day, Upworks has a lot of things in place that make sure that you're going to get paid once you accept the job. And I use a platform called Frame.io that I deliver the first edit and subsequent revisions to my client. And on Frame.io, there is a setting whereby you can have the client not be able to download the version until they've satisfied the payment. And then once the payment has been approved and you get your money Then I allow them to download it. I change the setting and we deliver it to them as a finished product, and then they're able to download it. So that's kind of like the little the little stopgap measure that I have in place to make sure that I'm going to get the payment that I'm after. If you can tell that a client's going to go bad when they start complaining about your work and so on, and at the end of the day, as long as they're not able to use anything that I provide them with, they want their money back, I'm not going to haggle. Take your money and you can go ahead and find somebody else. Because at the end of the day, nothing that you do is going to satisfy that client. So you might as well just cut your losses and just move on. I get it. You spent X number of hours doing it, and now they're going to haggle, or they're going to complain, or they're going to file something against you with Upworks. It's just, to me, it's just not worth it. Let them go ahead and find somebody else, as long as you know that they can't download what you've delivered to them. And again, I'm not getting any money from Frame.io from recommending them at all. Like I said, I don't post on YouTube enough to go, to have all those kind of links and discount codes and all that stuff. I'm not a YouTuber. I'm just doing this as a service to my fellow Upworkers and to my fellow freelancers. Okay. So again, like I said, a lot of people put a lot of credence in this. I don't, but that's what I look for. 5 to 10 people. The connects are pretty decent. 12 connects for it. And if this was something that I was interested in doing, the rate is a little low for me. But again, depending upon what they're looking for, if I can get this done in, relatively decent amount of time, that it's not going to be a waste, then I'll go ahead and apply to something like that. However, now that I'm looking at this job again, this takes me to another type of job that I would not accept. And the reason why I wouldn't accept this job, having looked at it a little harder, is this here. Okay, I estimate this to be a small project that can be completed in under a month. What are you basing that on? Are you basing it on experience that you have? Are you basing it on experience that you've had with other freelancers? Or are you just pulling this out of your butt to suggest that it should only take me a month? And then there are other jobs that say, this is a quick job. It should only take you an hour or two, or whatever. That to me is a red flag. And that tells me that if for whatever reason you go over their arbitrary quote unquote deadline and it's not agreed upon between you and the client, stay away from this. Stay away from this. If you concur with this, if you think that that's right based on what you've read, then by all means, go ahead and apply to it. But I'm here to tell you, more times than not, this is wrong. Because there's going to be something that comes up that they haven't told you, something that comes up that you couldn't anticipate. For instance, you can send them the first cut and it takes them 3 days to get back to you with revisions. Okay, and then the revisions take another 2-3 days, and then they wait another 2 or 3 days or 4 days to get back to you with the comments for the revisions. Now you're hitting up against their 1 month deadline, and then you go a day or two over, and all of a sudden now they're going to start haggling over, this shouldn't have taken this long. It should have only taken a month, or it only should have taken you 3 hours or 2 days, or whatever the case may be. That's just not reasonable, okay? Unless you, as the client, are editing and you know exactly what it is that you want, to suggest that it should only take a month is not fair, okay? Because the video editor, for all intents and purposes, is trying to interpret what it is that you're looking for, okay? This is pretty vague as far as what they want, okay? Video editing, video conversion, familiarity with Instagram dimensions and formatting. Okay, that's easy enough. But what do you want the video to be? Okay, what do you want the video to be? What are we doing? Because if we're just taking your video and converting the size, fine. But if you're going to ask for other stuff, and this right here, that's other stuff. What do you mean video editing? What do I need to do to edit this project? Okay. Be careful of jobs that put time limits like this on it based on expectations that have no basis in reality or no basis in fact, okay? The next thing that you look here, I need an expert level freelancer who can deliver high quality work. But when you go down here, look what they put, intermediate. That's what they're looking for. But up here, they want an expert. Here, they're looking for an intermediate, okay? And they're paying an intermediate wage. But here, they want an expert. This job is just full of contradictions. I would stay away from it. No way, even though it's less than 5, look at what you're competing with as far as the range is concerned. The high is 20, the low is $5. If you're not comfortable with this, I would pass. I would pass. So here is an example of 2 types of jobs back to back, this one and this one, that I would stay away from. So let's talk about this one first. The reason why I would stay away from this one is because what they're asking you to do is to get the stock footage that they want to use in their videos, okay? Now, I have accounts for all of these platforms, and they're not cheap. You know, I use them every day, all day for certain things, but this is actually built into my price. If you already have accounts with these types of sites, then fine. You can build this into your pricing, and that'll work for you as long as it's built into the pricing. However, that's going to be pretty difficult when you're looking at a $5 to $10 hourly rate. So I don't know how you would do this. In some instances, when folks are requesting that you use stock footage, they will provide you access to their accounts in order to obtain the footage, not imply that you have accounts in order to get it. There are some free places where you can go to get stock footage, but the library is not as extensive as some of the paid ones, as you might imagine. But again, to try to build in this to a $5 to $10 hourly rate is ridiculous, okay? And then the audacity, again, the audacity for them to say a huge opportunity to work for an upcoming 7-figure business, but you're only going to pay me $5 to $10 an hour, but you're on the precipice of working with a 7-figure business. Again, a total and complete contradiction. Total and complete contradiction. The second point, when working with clients that are looking for you to obtain stock footage, this is a very long, laborious process, because again, you have to interpret what it is they're saying in their script and their voiceover in order to find the stock footage that's going to work for it. And if, for whatever reason, they disagree, then that means you have to go back and find something else. So let's say, for instance, the voiceover or the script calls for you to show a kid playing baseball, okay? But they're not specific, just a kid playing baseball. Well, is it a boy? Is it a girl? What's the ethnicity? Does that matter? Can it be a white person, an Asian person? What about the colors of the uniforms? Does that matter? Is it going to be someone in a batting cage, or is it going to be somebody on the field? I mean, it can get really, really specific when you're trying to find stock footage to use over pretty broad voiceovers and scripts. So again, this kind of job, this kind of proposal, I stay away from. Again, 7-figure business, you got to have your own accounts. You got to try to find the ones that are going to fit with the voiceover and the script, and they're only going to pay you $5 to $10 an hour. Sorry, pass. So this is another post that I would stay away from that's similar to what we talked about regarding Mr. Beast, the client that wanted Mr. Beast type videos. So here we go again. So this person wants you to emulate Hormuzi, Iman Gadazi, I think that's how you pronounce the name, I'm not sure, Ali Abdal style shorts, okay? Not to mention, they want you to create the thumbnails, and then they talk about a competitive salary, but the fixed price is $100 for the video, okay? They want it fast, previous experience in editing and all that good stuff. Um, and again, they are looking for this kind of quality. They want this type of quality, but only willing to pay for this kind of output. Okay, that's again a contradiction. Okay, that's not going to be something that I would be interested in. And again, $100. Again, they're going to find somebody for it, no question about it. But this is not a job that I would be interested in. So, not to mention, they want somebody based in Bulgaria. Now, I didn't even look at this, but that's not really important. I really just looked at it based on what they were looking for and the fact that they want you to, again, emulate someone else's video. Okay, so let's take a look at what they are talking about here.
Money is energy, and energy can never stay stagnant. I see this law where people make money and they are so afraid to spend that money. They're so afraid to circulate that money back.
So
into the
this is an example of a video
release that energy
that's on TikTok that
mindset that they just end up
takes a very long time. It's a very good video. Okay, it's a very good video, and that's why they want to emulate. And again, I get that. I completely understand that. I have no problem with that. But these videos are not, I'm not going to say that they're complicated, but they're time consuming. It takes time to create videos like that, of that kind of quality. And for them to suggest that they're only going to pay you $100 to put together videos like this is insane to me. It's just insane to me. So this is the kind of video proposal that I would stay away from. Okay, so that's pretty much it. That's all I've got. Again, there are about 3 or 4 types of clients that I stay away from. The ones that look to emulate other people's work. And then when you don't come close enough to it, they're going to give you problems. Another one that I stay away from are the jobs that have too many proposals in their queue. I usually try to stick to less than 5 or definitely less than 20. But depending upon the job, depending upon how it's written, what the requirements are, I might, go ahead and apply to a job that has 5 to 10, 10 to 20, something like that. But never, ever, ever have I applied to a job that has 20 to 50 proposals in their queue. That's just, in my view, a waste of time and a waste of connects. Like I said before, usually they're making their decision with the first 5 to 10 proposals anyway, and don't even look at the balance of them. So I stay away from those. The next job that I stay away from are the ones that require you to use your own account or your own subscription for B-roll or stock footage, stock music, or stock anything. If your subscriptions are built into your hourly rate, then by all means go for it, especially if they're willing to pay your hourly rate. However, when you come across those jobs that want you to use your own stock footage or the accounts that you have for stock footage, stock music, or stock images, and they're only willing to pay you $5 or $10 an hour, to me, that's not worth it. Also, including the amount of time that it takes to find those images or to find that stock footage that they're looking for, and then end up having to do multiple revisions because it's not the exact or close enough image that they're looking for to work with their voiceover or their script. To me, it's just not worth it. I'm not going to use my own account unless I'm getting the rate that I think is going to be worth it. Now, if they have their own account and they give you access to it, that's a different story. But if they're asking me to use my own account and they're only going to pay me a $5 or $10 rate, then that's not something I'm going to work with. I'll pass on that. The last one is kind of like a mixture of a bunch of different things, but primarily what you want to look for are the jobs that have a laundry list of requirements, but are looking for an entry level or a novice to complete it. So they want to lowball the freelancer, but they've got 50 million bullet points of the requirements that the job is going to require from them. Again, just my personal preference, I stay away from jobs like that. you're gonna hit me with 20 or 30 different, requirements to get the job done, but you're gonna pay me a flat rate of $50. That's just not going to work for me. And I can look at the requirements and tell that it's going to take me about 3 or 4 hours to get it done. And if my rate is $50 an hour, I'm only going to get 150 for that job. Okay, that's fine. If I determine that it's only going to take me 2 or 3 hours to do it, but if I'm looking at a laundry list, 25, 30 different bullet points, and I know that that job is going to take 7 to 8 hours, but you're only going to pay me 50 or 75 bucks. Sorry, folks, I'm passing. There's no way that I'm going to do that kind of job where you've got all these different requests and all these different requirements, but you're going to lowball me on the price or the rate. Not going to do it. So that's about it, folks. I hope that this helps you as you are looking through Upworks, trying to find clients, trying to find jobs. Again, I know that there are a lot more out there that, you shouldn't stay away from, but these are the ones that just irk me the most. These are the ones that every time I read them, it just starts to burn me, and I just pass. So these connects don't come cheap. Be discriminating on the jobs that you apply for, and make sure that you're comfortable with the rate or the full project flat fee that you're going to get paid for the job. Leave a comment down below. I'm not going to ask you to subscribe because that's not why I'm doing this. I'm not a YouTuber. That's why I didn't spend much time with graphics and sound effects and all that nonsense. I'm not a YouTuber, and that's not the purpose of this, to get subscriptions or people to subscribe to the channel. I really don't care if you do or not. I'm just doing this as sort of a PSA for folks that are out there on Upworks looking to do the best that they can, enjoy their craft, and get compensated for what they're worth. That's it. Good luck. Peace.